Yeah, everybody should have an NDA. So you probably see there's a recording button. So
Oh,
since you've
yeah.
signed your NDA, for the record, what is your name, sir?
Doug Esterline.
Did
My
you ever
mom
go by
calls me
Douglas?
son. It is
Son.
Douglas, but
Nice.
it is Douglas. But that's when I'm around my high class friends.
Yeah. Yeah, if you call me Clayton, I think that you're sipping your drinks like this. So I have no
I've always
idea.
I've always referred to you as Clayton, though,
Have
even in
you?
your presence.
Even in my presence. Behind my back, was it a little more colorful or what was that?
No, it was pretty much.
It's
It was
still
pretty
Clayton.
highbrow, man. Yeah,
Nice. I like that.
yeah.
So, Doug, of course, you're my buddy. I've known you for a long time. I don't think I've ever really pissed you off. So, I think this interview will probably go pretty good.
No, you're
And
one of the nicest guys in sports and show business combined.
so, I'm going to ask you a
Yeah.
question at the end of this interview, and it's in relation to that. So, hopefully, you can you can be on my side for this. But anyways, I'll get back to you. It's about Max
Okay.
and uh, about Clint Walker. So, but anyways,
Sure.
so listen, you are awesome. You're such an inspiration for me as far as being a guitar player. But you're not just a guitar player, dude. You play bass, and I'm pretty sure I know you can shred the ukulele. For anybody that listens to this in the States, that's a ukulele, but that's
It,
how Okinawans pronounce it, ukulele. And
that's
I've seen you
correct.
shred with it, and I was just amazed, you know. Yeah, I was like, you're the new Shima Bukudo, maybe. But uh
No, man, I'm the Shima middle-aged chubby guy. Yeah.
you're from Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you
Lower
show me on
Peninsula, just so you know.
the lower P? So can you show me on your hand where you're from? Because this is what
Every,
people from Michigan do.
everybody can. Let's see what's Michigan look like. Kind of like this, right? Or is it like
Wait,
this?
you're out of screen. You gotta bring there you go. Okay,
It's
there
like
you go.
this, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where are you
I'm
from?
from I'm from damn near Indiana and Ohio,
Oh
man.
my gosh, you're from Michael Jackson country almost, right?
I'm in the Corn Belt, man. Yeah.
So I'm from
I
well, my
know you
relatives, my relatives are
yeah.
from the UP. That little rabbit thing is this
Yeah.
backwards? How's that? So yeah,
That's
my relatives from the UP, but you come from Michigan, and God bless the people from Michigan because the sportsman's paradise, really. Fishing and hunting, and if you wanted to go up to the UP, you could pretend you went to Canada. So it's got
nearly
to be fun.
almost.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
per
did
capita, Southern Michigan has the most meth labs going right now. So
Speaking of
that's an
meth, brought to
interesting
you
little
by Miller Lite.
interesting little tidbit.
Oh, I used to have an Oregon driver's license, and I'd ask people, "Is this a logger pitcher or a meth dealer?" And then when they guess whichever one, I'd say wrong. It's both. So,
Oh, nice.
part time out baito is meth. So, but yeah. So, when you were growing up in Michigan, were you from a music family? Because I mean, you're a musician. I think you grew up playing a different instrument from guitar and bass, right?
Well, you know, I let me tell you about my mom and dad. What a weird dichotomy. My mom was like this hippie chick, right? And so her music was, all over the place, rock and roll, late 60s, early 70s stuff. So when I was a little kid, there was all that. And my dad's he's kind of a country guy, right? So from his side, it was all classic country stuff, Hank Senior, Lefty Frizzell, George Jones, all those guys, Merle
Wow.
Haggard. So I was I had like left brain, right brain, thanks to my mom and dad as far as music went. So, but I started out playing violin as a little kid.
Ah, four strings.
Yeah, it's easier because there's only four. I wish they had a one string instrument. I'd kill it.
Mm. President of the United States bass player has a two-string bass, so he's pretty close.
Does he play slide on it?
I really doubt that.
Well, it
Yeah.
could be a thing.
So how
But yeah,
was it
so
transitioning from violin to what was your next instrument you picked up?
upright bass,
Wow. I mean, you were
because
yeah,
there was no upright bassist in the orchestra, and to
yeah.
constitute an orchestra, you can't have second cousins in the same section. So I was moved to upright bass.
Fun facts, you can have second cousins in the closet, but not in the same section. All
you
right.
know, it depends because most mobile homes in Michigan only have one closet. So
Spin the bottle.
usually it's occupied.
One
It's usually
closet.
occupied every time I
Yeah,
try to get in there. So
really. Spin the
yeah, it's
bottle
kind of
late at
weird.
night. It's good.
Pick and
So
choose.
you were playing. So you weren't playing music because your mom or dad was a musician, was it? Or I thought your dad played
Well,
music.
my father always had a little, you know, country and western band, and my mom, they had this. We actually were lucky enough. My mom and dad had a music room in their house, and my mom plays like keyboard, organ, but like one of those Thomas organs with like 370 buttons, and
Wow.
both black and white keys, and like a
Flip
rhythm machine.
switches.
Oh yeah, man, I tell you, Ash Miller would go nuts over something like that.
Yeah.
He'd lose his mind. But you know, but she was doing that. So, but my father was an over the road truck driver, so he was not home all the time. And when he was home, he was pretty much playing music. So
Hmm.
the easiest way to hang out with my dad was to pick up an instrument. So that's how that got started, kind of.
When was the first time that you played guitar or you thought about playing guitar? Was it during that same time?
Well, I was 13 when I played a gig with my father's band. They had the guy that taught me how to play electric bass in a band, was a guy named Sonny Evans. But he was only good for 2 sets because he liked whiskey. So
Ah,
I would like go
devil.
along in the station wagon, and then after the second set, or depending on how the whiskey was going for Sonny, I would be introduced. I'd come through the back door into the kitchen or something and stand on a stage like a statue and play bass in my dad's country band, until Sonny either came to or the gig was finished. So, but playing guitar, I just, I don't know, there was just stuff always laying around the house. So I
Yeah.
monkeyed around with banjo when I was a little kid, guitar, upright bass, electric bass. So yeah, there was just something always happening laying around. So
No bad company. You saw a six string hanging in the secondhand store. Not that story, huh?
no, it was usually my dad's friends would just leave their shit
Oh
in the house all the time. So
yeah. That's awesome. When
and they'd
when
say,
did
whatever
you
you do, don't
first
touch it.
when did you
Just like
first
daring me to
know
eat a cookie.
oh oh don't touch it.
Yeah, they'd leave the room and look at me and wink and say, "Don't touch my shit."
Right.
But you know,
That's awesome. Well, when did you first know that you could play? I mean, I'm not trying to make that giant head of yours any bigger, but you're a really
is
good
it the
guitar
hat,
player.
man? Is it the
No,
hat that
no,
makes
no.
my head look
It's
bad?
it's the DNA. It's the genetics. Trust me.
Oh,
But
oh
what?
damn.
Yeah, I'm serious. You are a really good guitar player. I was always
Oh,
impressed. So
wow, you need to get
when
up.
did you actually look at yourself in the mirror and go, man, I'm pretty good? When did that
Well,
happen?
I turned 55 in November, so I'm hoping it happens then.
Well, happy
But
birthday, you humbleness, you. Well,
no, I
when
mean,
did you
I'm just
start using the axe guitar as your main weapon?
actually not till later.
Yeah.
I didn't start probably when I was 21, maybe.
Okay. And you is this true? You were a Marine and then you got out and then reenlisted in the Army?
Yeah, I started out in the Marine Corps. I did my time in Yuma,
You did your time.
and then my
Okay.
last Yuma, Arizona, and then my last year, the fourth year of my 4-year hitch, I came to Okinawa.
Mhm.
So I went back to Michigan and was working a job and trying to go to school at night, and that wasn't working out. Neither of them
Yeah.
was working out very good. So I, joined the Army, and I wanted to go. Honestly, I wanted to go to Germany or Alaska,
Yeah.
and the Army sent me back to Okinawa. So yeah.
Wow. Well, that's cool because you'd been here for about a year.
Yeah, we're coming up on, I don't know. I was talking to somebody about it the other day, and I think it's like 33 or 34 years.
Whoa. So how long was your tour in the Army on Okinawa?
I was here in the Army for 4.5 years.
4.5 years, and you ETS from here?
Yeah, well, I got out of the Army.
Okay. But did you stay
Yeah.
here? Did you go back to the States?
Oh no, I went back to, what's that place out in Seattle? That big Army base. It's kind of famous.
Fort Lewis.
Yeah, I went to Fort Lewis to out process and then flew right back here.
Oh, that's awesome. So when you were in the Army and you were here, were you playing music in bands?
You know, yeah, I was actually. It was kind of the. I tell people this and nobody believes it, but back then, I was E5 in the Army when I started playing music over here in bands. Like, as a matter of fact, the week after I landed, I got a gig in a country rock band, and back then, I made more money playing music than I did as an E5 in the Army.
Yeah, things really did change. I mean, when you used to tell me about how much money you would make with like Stevie, the resort hotels, and bands would actually get. And I guess when I started playing live out here, I messed it up for everybody. So
I don't think that's it, man.
are you
Actually, I'm
sure?
referring to even before the
Uh,
Stevie time.
yeah.
These were MWR gigs on bass, and
Oh yeah, that's
live
right.
music. Live music was so big on bass, you could play it like the Crow's Nest on Camp Shields. You get 500 or 600 people in there
Mm,
on a Friday night. Saturday night, you'd go to maybe the Shilling and play when they used to have bands, and then Sunday night was
that's
the
right.
Globe and Anchor,
The hook and
or
jab,
the
as they
hook and
call it.
jab, as we like to call it. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, there were fights. I played in there once, and there were fights. It was good.
Well, you guys play
So,
that raucous music, man. It
oh
incites
no, no, we never played.
incites
That's
anger and fear.
no,
It,
no. I
it,
was hoping girls were bobbing their head like, "Oh, that's cute." So,
like
but
kind of like Thai masturbation. I get it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's actually well, that's just another word for my band name. But anyway,
Well, I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but that's what I heard.
no, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you. The
Okay.
so you got out, you came right back here, and whatever job you did, you were basically playing music though from then on. And what year was that?
Let me see. I got out in. Wow, you think I'd know?
Hmm.
96.
Oh, 96. Oh, wow. So I got here in 98. And let me tell you something. The first time I saw you play, you were playing bass in a band called Cry Wolf, right?
I don't know if I was playing bass in Cry Wolf. I think Dennis was actually the bass player in Cry Wolf.
Oh,
Our friend
you
Dennis.
know,
Yeah.
I get things wrong a lot, and I'm not sure why. It's weird. Hmm.
Yeah, I think it was
Anyways,
me and the other old guy on guitar.
oh,
I
that's
think
right. The
I
George.
think Georgie. I think Jeff
Yeah.
Shoemaker played drums.
Yeah, that's right. Jeff Shue. I saw that picture and I was wondering why you guys had two drummers, Dennis and Shue. So
Yeah. We want to
uh,
we want to be like every band at Live Aid.
yeah.
Two
And that was
drummers.
98. That was 98, right?
It was, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Ansamami? Yeah, I think
I
so.
got
Yeah.
I got to the island in 98 and Jason, I think Jason told me about yeah, I met him because he worked in the box with me. And he told me about Fujiyamas and went up there. First time I was up there, I saw Clay Sun Union play. And then second
Wow,
time I
great
saw
band.
Cry. Yeah, very nice. And then second time I saw Cry Wolf, which I'd seen a lot of like classic rock, cover bands, but you guys you guys sounded awesome. And so I was super happy. I was like, oh man, this is good. And I forgot your singer's name, but he had a nice husky voice. And
Rob Baker, right?
Rob, and
Hollywood.
he was playing keyboards too. So you had like this full band, plus two drummers,
Yeah.
obviously, with Dennis and Shue. So like Murasaki, right?
Yeah.
Kochan and Chibi going at
Yeah.
it. No,
We're
sorry, I
not
got
quite
that
as
wrong.
purple though, yeah.
No. But before that, that was 98. So in 96, well, when actually, let me ask you about Stevie. So when did you meet up with Stevie? When was that?
I don't remember the actual year, but it must have been before 96 because I was still in the Army when I met him. And so I'm thinking maybe 94, 95-ish. And he had been here a while, and he's a Marine Corps veteran. So he was kind of doing the solo acoustic thing. And I didn't know a bunch of Japanese musicians or Okinawa musicians at the time, but I had met this group called Acoustic M, which is a guy named Masaru and his wife Masami. Their family name's China. And they're just great people, right? Super nice people. Well, they had a gig that they couldn't cover, or they couldn't cover every weekend. So they knew Stevie and they knew me, and they kind of put us together and said, would you guys be interested in doing this this string of hotel gigs at Ishigaki Island?
Oh, wow.
And it was, oh man, it was so cool. But the day I met Stevie, we met up down at he used to have an old apartment on Sanabe Seawall back when it wasn't so nice,
Yeah.
So
Gentrified.
yeah, exactly.
By Americans.
So anyway, it seems like we're like twin sons from different families, right? So we're sitting in his kitchen, and he said, hey, you know this song? And I said, hey, yeah, you know this song? And we started talking about our dads. And as soon as we realized that we had kind of grew up the same way, it was just a connection, So we were able to kind of start working together pretty easily. And then
and that was acoustic. But did Stevie do a band called Glass Onion?
yeah, he was.
They have electric guitar band. I saw pictures of him playing electric guitar on a
Oh
big
yeah,
stage once.
Glass Onion was a great band. Actually, Kachan, the bass player,
Yeah.
was the bass player, and a guy
Wow.
named
I
Air
didn't
Force
know
guy named
Kachan played an instrument. You
no
talking
no
about Kachan?
Kachan,
Oh,
tall, skinny guy.
oh, not
Back then he had
Kachan,
hair.
Jack Nasty. So
No, yeah,
okay,
not Jack.
okay.
But back then he had hair down to his waist. This guy,
Wow.
and just a monster bass player, and an Air Force guy named Dana Petey,
Mhm.
and Stevie. And
Did
Stevie
you
grew
see
up.
them play?
Oh yeah, many times.
Oh,
Back
okay.
when Fujiyama's was the underground.
That's above ground in the second floor.
Yeah, yeah, weird, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's okay.
a guy named Frank. I can't remember
Yeah.
Frank's last name. He owned it, but so
So
that's when I started seeing those guys. But yeah,
yeah.
great band. But you know how bands are. They only last like 37 years. So
Well, you guys hooked up, and everybody saw you play. I mean, if you wanted to go someplace and really enjoy the music, and not just the music, because I mean,
yeah,
it's like Roy Clark and Buck Owen there. Uh, you were Roy Clark guitar aficionado, but he was the Roy Clark as far as being boisterous, and you
oh
know,
yeah,
love him or hate him, you always had a show with Stevie. So that was pretty
yeah.
awesome.
Toward the end there, I kind of thought, I don't know if people were coming to see the music, be coming because of the music, or maybe coming to see what was going to happen,
Yeah, yeah.
what kind of shenanigans
He
might
had that
ensue.
talent. Yeah, he had that talent.
Oh
But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
how much respect do you get from other musicians? It's like, well, he just really did whatever he wanted to do. So I remember when you guys met up in Vegas or Reno, and
Reno, yeah.
yeah, and you guys played live, and we were all watching you on the internet, just talking shit back and forth. That was so much fun.
You
That
know,
was
I
how
remember
much
the first.
tequila? How much
I
tequila
remember
was
the
that?
first half of that.
Really? Uh,
The second half was, maybe a little fuzzy, but I had a
yeah,
great time in Reno with hanging out with Steve.
yeah.
Actually, one of my favorite memories away from Okinawa with Stevie was I had to go to a cable expo or something, some kind of thing, an expo. What do they call?
Oh, you locked up there for a minute.
Anyway,
Well, hey, listen, so we got cut off. I restarted the recording. You were telling me how I was your favorite member of Chuckwow, but let's not talk about my band. Let's just
exact.
go back to
Hey,
your
let's not talk
stories.
about members, man. Let's
Yeah,
keep it a clean family show.
yeah, yeah. And by the way, I wanted to show.
Sweetwater.
Yeah. So you know where I got this shirt from, right?
Sweetwater.
My evil boss, Brian.
Oh,
I he's always trying to like butter me up, but I know it's to fire me one day. So he gave me this Sweetwater shirt.
well, you think he's trying to soften the blow?
Yeah, of course. Of
Okay.
course. I think he's a little attracted to me too. I mean, to be honest. So
Well, you kind of put off a vibe sometimes, man. I don't know if you know
a
that or
vibe.
not.
What do you mean a vibe?
You
Like
put off a vibe, man. I'm just saying.
this is like the Big Lebowski, a vibe. What's a vibe? What is that?
Well, you're not
Yeah.
a nihilist, man. So
No, man. So so you played with Stevie a lot, and you were going to tell me one of your favorite stories about Stevie, and then I'll tell you one of mine.
okay. Well, Stevie had left and relocated to, America,
Mm.
and so I was going to go to a trade show in Denver. He was living in Reno, so I said, "Hey, man, why don't you fly down to Denver and hang out with me? It'd be like 3 or 4 days just goofing around in a big city." Well, so he gets into the airport. He starts, he's at the bar. So I get my bag and I find him in the bar. And in Denver, it's snowing like hell. I mean, there's like 1.5 feet of snow on the ground, and they're talking about closing the airport. And the airport's like 20 miles outside of town. So there's this blonde lady sitting at the bar, and Steve starts talking to her. And next thing you know, he goes, "Hey, man, it's okay. She's got a car service. She's going to take us into town."
Wow,
You know how he was just that kind of guy, right?
he
So
really could talk to anybody.
anybody. So we get into the hotel we're staying in the Cherry Creek area of Denver. It's kind of downtown-ish. So right across the street from the hotel was Guitar Center. And right around the corner from Guitar Center was Hooters. So I was like, trade show? What trade show? I'm not, So we go to Hooters, and we have a few drinks. And then we go to Guitar Center after we'd been at Hooters for like 3 hours,
Yes.
right? So we sit down in the acoustic room and we're grab a couple guitars, start playing them, and a few people gather around, and we're kind of in the zone. So the salesman comes in and goes, "Fellas, you're kind of, you're hoarding the crowd here, man. Are you buying or what?" That's some young
No,
guy,
we're performing.
"You buying or what?" So I said, "Yeah,
You're
we'll
getting
take."
a free show.
Just like out of the Blues Brothers, I said, "Yeah, we'll take
Yeah.
these axes." So I
Wow.
bought 2 guitars and put them on the plastic because I was
Wow.
insanely, inebriated. So all this time it's been kept snowing, right? So I get word that the first day of the trade show was canceled because of the weather. So we go back to the hotel bar, I guess, and it's like this circular, and in the middle of the room is this huge stone fireplace. So we sat there playing songs by this stone fireplace for the people in the hotel. There must have been, I don't know, 80 people in the bar because flights were canceled and everything. So anyway, it was nonstop playing music for like 6 hours straight without
Wow.
any of the usual shenanigans, which was kind of cool. So that's just,
pretty nice.
I got a zillion stories about the guy, but that one sticks out because it if you take people away from their normal element and see them a little differently, see them from a different angle, that's always struck me about that memory.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like the Gate 2 Street show, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah, there was always an element of his show where he could maybe sometimes get a little grumpy or whatever, or provocative or push somebody's buttons in the audience. But he was always incredibly polite to me, and especially when he created Daijobu's, that
Yeah, that's
bar, and
because you know bar
he
chords,
was
man.
so, yeah. Well, I'm a power rhythm player, that, but
Oh,
uh yeah, he took me through Daijobu's. He was so happy and so proud and showing it off, and he was that kind of guy. He was really passionate about stuff. But my favorite time was when the old Morgan's Club. Remember the Morgan's
yeah. Oh,
bar? Uh,
yep.
yeah, yeah. So who was it? Martin didn't own it. He was managing it, and
Yeah.
there was that dartboards in the corner, and I go there, and I swear I don't know why. I think we went there at lunchtime to set up for the next day's gig, and
Uh
Stevie is with these people in the corner, and there's this naked girl. She has all her clothes off, and she's standing at the bar right by the dartboard, and Stevie goes, come here, come here, come here. And he's like, I told her if I get a one bullseye in one throw, that she'd have to get nude in front of her. And I nailed it. And so
oh man.
there's this naked girl, this blonde girl, just trying to cover up. I was like, how do you operate? How do you operate? How do you do this stuff? He's just, he's kind of a unique person. But
You
I'm
know,
not I'm
he can
not
sell ice to an
interviewing.
Eskimo, man.
Yeah, I'm not interviewing Stevie, but God rest his soul if I believed in a God. But I mean, it's sad. He had a lot of pain and whatnot, but he was pretty cool dude and great musician. And you guys together, you know, you were such a great entertaining team. So I thank you for all
Yeah.
those times.
Oh man, I'm lucky I was able to do it for,
Yeah.
I miss him every day, actually. But speaking of your angry boss, I see a lot of Stevie in him actually. So this COVID thing's really got me bummed out because I was kind of hoping that, it's tough when I mean, even if you don't play a lot, you miss it. So I mean, lately, before pre-COVID, 2 or 3 or 4 times a month, maybe you get out and play. But so this has been especially frustrating. But
Yeah.
meeting Brian is, kind of hoping when things calm down, we actually play some gigs or something.
Yeah, you're a perfect match for him, and since I met him, I mean, he has the most beautiful soulful voice, and he's not covering tunes and trying to do like me, like trying to sound like them. No, he sounds like him playing
Oh
all
yeah,
these different tunes. So, and you're perfect for him because you'll just noodle along, harmonize, sing, play. You'll play your own songs. He'll harmonize for you. You know. So you guys
oh
are
yeah.
gonna work out and do some good stuff. So, but
I sure hope
I
so.
promise. I told him I'd interview him after I interviewed a bunch of really important people first. So he got hurt because he's like, "You're gonna interview Doug?" And I go, "Yeah, actually, I've interviewed a lot of people before you already, so but he'll
Yeah.
be all right.
Well.
That guy's been playing music for way too long, so he'll be all right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's gotten
he
it
had a
already.
misspent youth, man. Yeah. He like the rest of
Yes,
us.
yeah. You did. You played with Don and Max. You guys did Shima guys, right? And
Oh
how
yeah.
how long did you do Shima guys for?
I think the Shima guys went on for, I want to say Al being Al's house band for, I think, like almost 4 years maybe. But then there was member changes and everything. So I think my portion with those guys might have been just short of 2 years,
Yeah.
but
I
a
mean, you
lot of
had a good
fun.
following, and I mean, you basically camped out at Al's place and played out, so that was pretty impressive. He had a saxophone player sometimes, right?
Well, yeah, it was my first, well, not my first experience with a horn player, but
Yeah,
definitely an experience with a horn player,
yeah.
you know.
Is
But I think
did you
it just
feel you
added a
had
little
to? Yeah,
extra element.
yeah, yeah. It did, it did. You need like the In Excess guy or the guy from Huey Lewis and the News that plays a horn, plays the keyboard, and plays guitar. So whatever you need him to do, he's like doing that. So,
Oh, the
but
utility guy. Yeah, I don't
oh
like those guys.
No,
They're my
that actually Brian
they're my
plays
space.
trumpet too. You saw that, so
You know,
yeah.
the day we recorded that song I wrote, we were just monkeying around, and Brian has this magical closet, man. He's hold on a minute, man. Let me get something out of the closet. And he comes out with this trumpet. I'm like, are you kidding me? I
Yeah,
thought he was going to pull bagpipes out or something.
that was his axe in college or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, he's one of those
Music major.
trained musicians.
He's
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
on the spectrum too. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
But yeah,
like
yeah,
Reagan.
fun times.
Yeah,
But yeah, the Shima guys, we played, a lot. Obviously, it was a good
yeah,
time, good experience. Al's place is one of those places that sadly is no longer around, where people
yeah,
went to. And again, I think it's because of Al's personality.
yeah.
You know, he's like everybody's dad or granddad. Just a cool dude, right? So yeah, people would eat open on Sunday like at 11 a.m. I'm like, who does this? But
Yeah.
yeah, cool guy, great
Yeah,
experience.
we used to go to the bar at lunch. I remember that on the weekends. So. But before 9/11, really after 9/11,
Yeah,
man, everything changed.
yeah, pre-craziness, yeah.
Yeah. So when you play guitar, who taught you chicken picking? You just taught it on your own, or
Well, actually, that comes from monkeying around with the banjo as a kid. I think
yeah.
I didn't even know what it was. I just when I my father was in an accident. He got ran over by a forklift and really mashed up his lower leg. So he couldn't drive truck. He was home all the time. So we got this gig at the VFW, and we were billed as Doug and Company. So at the time, I would play bass on a few songs, and I'd play mandolin on a few songs. And somebody, probably my mom, said, "Hey, you should probably get a banjo." And so I got
Wow.
one, and I took a few lessons from this nice fellow with no teeth, and he got me started. So when I got serious about playing guitar, I think I brought that with me from playing banjo. I didn't even
Oh,
really know it was a
yeah.
thing until I really got into country music later. I was like, oh yeah, that's a really a thing. But yeah,
Oh,
I'm sure I
yeah.
stole it from monkeying around with the banjo.
No, that's if I started from scratch, I would have learned that way. It just, I mean, it's a real useful tool because you can only do so much with your pick, those down and up strokes, but you were using your fingers with the pick, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. So then
Well,
I found out that you
thanks, but
sold your
nothing
soul
new.
to the
Just something
devil,
I.
so it's fine.
Yeah, I'm
I
still
knew.
waiting for the payday, man. I don't
Yeah,
know when's it happening. When's it
I
coming?
don't know. When is it happening? So you're in COVID response right now, and you're locked down. But I saw you, Don, and Brian did play. You guys did get to play a gig up in Akuma. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, we played Okuma on the 4th. It was nice. Our
Yeah.
friend Aaron did the
Oh
sound, of
yeah,
course,
Aaron's
and his
awesome. I love that.
you've worked with him a million times. He's an
Yeah.
awesome dude.
Yeah.
There's never any headache or problems or stress.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a good time. Like I said earlier, I think we should have had 30 gigs under our belt by now, but this
Yeah.
COVID stuff's kind of beat us all
Yeah.
up.
So you that reminds me, you played how many times you and Jet? How did that happen with you and your buddy Jet?
Well,
How did
well,
that
Jet was in the
happen? When was
Army.
that? Yeah.
That was that would have been 90, 91, 92 time frame when I met him.
Wow.
And he was, we're both in a country band, separate country bands, and we were both working 4 nights a week maybe. He was
Yeah.
in this band called Texas Heat, and I was in the band called Southbound. And we'd occasionally pass each other by. We were in the Army, but we had no connection or working relationship in the Army. We just happened to both be here and be in the Army. So one night, I think somebody invited me to maybe their bass player was missing a gig or something. So I subbed, and I kind of got to know him a little bit. And after the gig one night at the Shilling, somebody had an acoustic guitar, and while everybody was packing up, he and I started singing and playing
Yeah.
out behind the Shilling on the curb, and it just kind of worked. You know, he's man. He, like I said, man, he's you have to
But
search long and hard to find a better
yeah,
singer than that guy.
your guys voice together. It was such a nice match. I'd heard you play a while ago, and then when I asked you please come up to Akuma again, Aaron
Oh
set up
yeah.
the sound, and we did that adventure race after party, whatever. That was so nice. So, and I appreciate you letting me try to play the cajon on a couple songs, man. I just wanted to be part of the band, man. And I really didn't want to play too loud. He was like, I'm gonna mess somebody up. But you and
No,
Jet,
good
you have a
times, man.
nice, yeah, you guys have a nice chemistry together. You have great sound, and you play off each other, and
You know, it's weird because we never actually. It's just kind of automatic, and you know, we don't really concentrate on it because we're both got a bunch of stuff going. But when we do get a chance to get together and play, it's always pretty cool. You know, always turns out halfway decent.
what's the name of your band together?
Full circle.
Full Circle. There you go.
And at
Yeah,
one time, let's see, we had Mike Robles. He played percussion and sang. You know, Mike's a great singer too. He's a great
yeah,
harmony singer. He's got a great
yeah.
ear for arrangement and everything. So yeah. Before that, there was an Air Force guy that played guitar in the group with us named Russ Fuquay, and now he's in Knoxville, Tennessee, and he has a nonprofit music school that he runs.
Wow,
So, but
nice.
he's a fantastic singer and guitar player. I mean, yeah, I learned a lot from him. So he
Did
was a
you
cool
play a
guy.
little bit with Johnny Mack when you remember? He's the tall Green Beret buddy of mine. He
You,
was down town. Did you play a couple
yeah,
songs with him? Did you ever get together?
you know, kind of impromptu, but not
Oh,
anything, not more
yeah,
than like a chorus of this or a chorus of that. But I've
yeah,
always enjoyed
that's cool.
watching him perform, and he's a
Yeah,
super talented cat.
he's an old Nashville guy, and he chicken picks too. First time I was playing with him, I was trying to play guitar, and he was playing bass, and then I handed him my guitar, and I was embarrassed. I was like, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah,
I was trying to show
he's
him
a.
how to play a bar chord.
Hey, not everybody can do that properly. I'm just
No,
saying.
no,
That's
that
the
was
thing.
fine though.
And
But
plus
you
a lot of
you
downstrokes. You know,
so
that's kind of nobody can do that.
yeah, exactly. It's power rhythm. I can break a string, and I don't bend them. Anyways, but hey, I just wanted to talk about one more thing or two more things, if you don't mind, because people are gonna be
Absolutely,
like,
man.
1 hour. I ain't gonna listen to Doug and Clay for an hour. That's crazy. Maybe they'll
Not
just
even our
fast
friend.
forward it to, yeah, the one friend we have, Ash. That's it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
uh, so um, the 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 time when I saw the kid in your face, the most brightest I've ever seen your face shine was when Montgomery Gentry was playing on bass, and they came to the Hideaway or the Fujiyamas
yeah.
afterwards, and we're all
Fujiyamas, yeah,
there hanging out. And I think by contract they can't play their songs out live, so they
yeah,
just stood up on stage and they started playing their just cover songs, right? And
yeah,
then I don't know if they asked if you played or if you just said, "Hey, I play guitar." But when you got up on stage and you played somebody's Strat, I think it
yeah.
was
The
they
Cry
kept
Wolf
looking
Strat,
back at you. Yeah, they
Georgia
kept looking
Strat, yeah.
back at you as oh, that's good, keep it up, right? And you were oh, that was so awesome. That was just so good. So
Well, you know, it was really cool because everybody has this idea that you're, you know, professional musicians or, you know, rock stars or whatever. You know, there was a night that Warrant sat in with, or a couple of members, the guitar players from Warrant sat in with Cry Wolf at Fuji's. So same kind of situation. They're just, you know, Montgomery Gentry and the guys from Warrant, they were just regular guys, you know. And
yeah.
but when we got off stage, the guys from Montgomery Gentry, they're like, well, you know, you could hang in Nashville. I'm like, dude, I can't buy gasoline in Nashville. What are you talking about? You guys are
Yeah,
too kind.
you sneeze on a musician, a guitar player.
Exact. Oh man, yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
But you
Well,
know, that was
listen,
really
yeah,
good
go ahead.
time. Yeah. No, that was just a really good time. One of the,
Yeah.
one of the pretty high on my list, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that was so much fun. It was a great time. And it's nice to know a good guitar player. It really is. I mean, I got a lot of friends who play really good guitar. Actually, everybody besides me plays really good guitar. Unless you need a power rhythm player, then I'm your guy. So,
But
Chuckwow, we just tried to make enough noise to sound cool. So,
Clay, I've never had a T-shirt in my honor or a koozie or any paraphernalia like you guys have. So I got to place you pretty high up on my list, man.
wow.
Of
Yeah, I don't think I have
because
a
you got
Cry
that
Wolf
thing.
t-shirt.
You got that thing, man. You got that
Well,
thing that other
thank you.
guitar players don't have.
You have the thing. That's why I was hoping you'd sit down and interview with me. I just wanted to ask you one more question, which is so for the longest time, our buddy Max always
Mm-hmm.
told me, he said, Clay, you are the nicest guy in rock and roll. Every time you see me, Clay's something, nicest guy in rock and roll. And I always said, no, Clint Walker is the nicest guy in rock and roll. And I asked Clint Walker who was the nicest, and I think he said he would fight me for it. So I think that means he's not the nicest, but I just want it to be on the record. Who do you think is the nicest guy in rock and roll if you had to choose between Clint Walker and Clay Sump?
Oh, it's going to be my friend Clayton Sump. Every nine
Oh my
times out of 10.
gosh,
10 out of 10.
you're way too nice.
And I love,
I have
and I
fooled
love
you.
Clint. Clint,
Clint's
Clint's a great
nice.
guy. I love playing with him.
He's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep.
But he did threaten me, to fight me for it. So no.
But you're it, man. You're the guy.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
wanted to let you see. The reason I put the telly back there is because these two guitars that I have up here. This is over here. That's Willie's bass. Willie
Oh, okay.
Nakajan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I bought that off him. I got Apin's guitar, and I got chibi snare. Anyways, I was trying to collect up some stuff. So, but that's my telly. So these are two instruments that you could play so well, and I just I thought about you. I was like, what am I going to put
Wow.
behind me? I was like, yeah, this is Doug. So, yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
Mm.
It's been
Well,
fun.
yeah, it was fun. So I'll get this wrapped up and posted. I think I'm gonna start posting like once every couple days. I want to collect up enough first and just put it in some interesting order. So I appreciate
Yeah,
you doing this. Thank you.
oh man, my pleasure. Like a greatest hits album. Yeah.
Well, no, just like, hey, you remember that guy who used to play
Yeah, that
music?
dude.
Yeah, from Okinawa. So some people are gone, some people are still here, but I thought it'd be fun to do this. So thank you. I appreciate it, Doug.
No, thank you, Clay. I had a great time, man. Anytime,
All right.
brother.
Well, next time you're ready to drink a beer with me, let me know, and we'll turn and burn with Ash.
Yeah,
How's that?
absolutely.
Okay.
We
Thank
got
you,
to have a
brother.
boys' day out somewhere safe, out of camera
A
range.
safe place. Yes, a safe place. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
All
You
right,
take
man.
care,
Take it
man.
easy, buddy.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Do a
Bye-bye.
pose so we stop the recording.